Okay, members of the House of Representatives, can I give you a couple of announcements? These aren't really announcements. First of all, the bills that have passed your chamber, passed your committee, now you're going to use a new verb. Everybody say concur. Concur. Really? That's as loud as you can get? Everybody say concur. Concur. That's so much better. What that means is that it has passed the other chamber, and when you now make your motions, you would say, I concur. In other words, you agree with the other chamber, or you do not. So every time you would normally have said pass, now you're going to say concur. The other thing is we need to go back to, because this is after transmittal, we need to go back to that order of business. All the committee chairs, you need to listen again to adopt the committee reports. So if you would find that place where he will read those reports again, and you will have to say, I move for the adoption of that committee report. Okay? Everybody got up their bill summaries up here? All the committee chairs? All right.
she's going to read.
I just you can make a list. Yes, I know. Oh, I just got all these like really easy ones.
Yeah, I know.
Figure out a rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have one of the house members, make a rule that our motion to disband that rule not having a house member. Person from outside the general public represent the whole bill, and then if we get to I just need to find somebody to do that.
That's fine.
Lucas. Okay, so for me to be able to represent my own bill,
Hey, Kyle. Members of the committee will please be in order. First order of business, are there any communications or petitions?
No, Madam Speaker, there are no communications or petitions.
Second order of business, could we have standing committees?
Madam Speaker, we, your committee on education, having under consideration the following legislation, recommend as follows. Senate Bill number 207R, do pass. Senate Bill 217, do pass as amended. Senate Bill 212, do not pass. Senate Bill 213, do not pass. Senate Bill 218, do pass. Senate Bill 209, do pass as amended. Senate Bill 210, do pass as amended.
Okay, if that's all of them, would you please read the report of the next, or is the committee chair here? Sorry.
All right. Madam Speaker, we are committee.
Oh,
All right.
I move adoption of the committee report.
the report on the Committee of Education be adopted. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, clerk, could you please read the next report?
Just tap off. Okay. Madam Speaker, we are committee on business and taxation, having under consideration the following legislation, recommend as follows. Bill number 200, do pass. Bill number 201, do not pass. Bill number 202, do pass. Bill number 203, do pass. Bill number 211, do not pass. Bill number 206, do pass. Bill number 207, do pass.
Yes.
I move adoption of the committee report.
It has been moved that the report on the Committee of Business and Taxation be adopted. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, clerk, could you please read the next committee report?
Madam Speaker, we are committee on judiciary, having under consideration the following legislation, recommend as follows. Bill number 230, do pass. Bill number 228, do pass. Bill number 225, do pass. Bill number 234, do pass. Bill number 239, do pass as amended. Bill number 210, do not pass.
Yes.
I move for adoption of the committee report.
Okay. It has been moved that the report on this committee be adopted. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. Clerk, could you please read the next committee report?
Madam Speaker, we are committee on natural resources and transportation, having under consideration the following legislation, recommend as follows. Bill number 238, do pass as amended. Bill number 241, do pass. Bill number 248, do pass. Bill number 244, do not pass. Bill number 250, do pass. and Bill 205 do not pass.
And is the committee chair present? Yes, okay.
I move adoption of the committee report.
It has been moved that the report on this committee be adopted. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. Clerk, could you please read the next committee report?
Madam Speaker, we are committee on House, wait. Is that human and health? On House and Human, having under consideration the following legislation, recommend as follows. Bill number 242, do pass. Bill number 215, do pass. Bill number 249, do not pass. Bill number 223, do pass. Bill number 221, do pass. Bill number 222, do pass. Bill number 220, do pass. That is all, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. And is the committee chair present? Yes. It has been moved that the report on the Committee of Health and Human Services be adopted. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, then this report has been adopted. We also, I believe that was the last committee report.
Yes.
We have a message from our State Director, Holly, so I'll turn it over to her for a second.
First of all, I want to tell everybody that everything has been going really well, and this applies to a very small number of you, but I have to make this announcement anyway. Security and the police officer came to my office, and students from this conference were downstairs swearing so loudly that the staff members in the Capitol heard them. So if everybody in here, is everyone in here aware that we have a code of conduct? And is everyone aware that using bad language, foul language would be against that code of conduct? Does anyone know what violation of the code of conduct is? No one? So if anyone is identified as having been swearing in the Capitol or is caught doing so, they will be sent home. The other thing, we've had some incredibly inappropriate notes sent by pages, which I don't know why anyone would do that since other people can read them. But because of that, anyone up here, there's business, they may use the pages whenever they need to, but if you're in the house, you need to give any notes that you need delivered to your Sergeant of Arms, who is not, she's giving her speech, I think. Oh, is she here? Okay. You will give your note to the Sergeant of Arms, so maybe it'd be better if you're like where, back there where they can find you, and if it is appropriate, she will give it to a page to be delivered. But there will be no more delivery of any inappropriate notes. Some of them were equivalent of sexual harassment, or like actually borderline criminal. So otherwise we wouldn't have to do that. We'll have a new policy about it next year, but that's what we're going to do for now. Any questions? And again, I understand very few of you are part of this, and everything has been going really well, and I appreciate all your hard work. Keep it up. Thank you.
Yay. Okay. We will next hear reports from any select committees. Clerk, are there any?
No, Madam Speaker, there are no reports from select committees.
Order of Business 4, are there any messages from the Governor?
No messages from the Governor.
Order of Business 5, are there any messages from the other House?
No, Madam Speaker, there are no messages from the other House.
Order of Business 6, are there any motions at this time? Seeing none, we will move on to Order of Business 7.
Madam Speaker, I move that this body resolve itself onto the committee of the whole.
Without objection, so ordered. The members of the committee, we now have before us Senate Bill number 207. Will the clerk read the history and title of the bill?
All right. The title for Senate Bill number 207 is an act to outlaw forced arbitration. The committee recommendation is do pass.
Members of the committee, you now have before you in its entirety Senate Bill number 207. What is your pleasure? So someone has to sponsor this bill. Doesn't matter who. Anybody? Okay. Yep, no, yeah, you raised your hand, you're sponsoring this bill. Yeah, Representative Jack Shaw, please stand up. You're lucky. Okay. Yes, will you sponsor this bill? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And members of the committee, I move that when this committee does rise and report, after having under consideration Senate Bill 207, that it is recommended the same do pass. Basically, this bill is intended to, the teaching of herpetology has been in some cases non-existent in public schools in Montana, and the author of this bill, who I is that this is an issue and it needs to be addressed. This includes things like snakes, reptiles.
Sorry, is it, I believe that's the wrong bill, maybe? Okay.
I can also sponsor this bill as well.
Thank you. Okay. We'll just go ahead and move forward then.
Okay. Am I okay to sit down now? Or am I still sponsoring this one? Sponsor it? All right. Okay. So this bill is an act to outlaw forced arbitration. No forced arbitration contracts will be enforced in the state of Montana or against Montana residents. No businesses or corporations anywhere in the United States or anywhere in the world may force, coerce, or trick any Montana resident into a forced arbitration agreement. I personally like this bill because I think it's something that Montana needs to take into consideration. I yield my time. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the sponsor? Representative Black.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes.
What is arbitration?
I do not believe that I am under the proper knowledge to answer that question.
Okay, Representative Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes.
Seeing as how the author of this bill is in my delegation and I was trying to sponsor it, would it be okay if I answered that question for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so forced arbitration is basically when a big company makes you sign this contract, basically handing over your Seventh Amendment rights. I just lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. But what they will tend to do to like get you to sign these contracts is like they can blackmail you with their background checks, or they would like, you know, make it so you could never work in any department for their company. There was a case of this woman working for Halliburton, a company called Halliburton, in which she signed this one arbitration contract, and she was raped on the job and abused on the job, and she could not take it to court because she signed this arbitration contract. And I do think it is a violation of the Seventh Amendment, and people do get tricked into it and sometimes forced into it, and it is a problem that is growing in our nation. And I yield the rest of my time.
Okay, so seeing as that was kind of confusing because we had the wrong bill, Representative Green, would you be okay if you just sponsored this bill now?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, so seeing as I'll count that as your opening speech, now are there any questions for the sponsor? Representative Black.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes, ma'am.
May we just get a review of what our Seventh Amendment is?
I do not have that memorized or on. We will look it up
Can we just get the
momentarily.
gist? Okay, thank you.
Are there any further questions for the sponsor? Yes. Okay. Seeing none, is there any discussion on this bill? Representative Gammons.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think that this is a really good bill. It's really simple, but it does a lot. And I know that in our town there was
some problems with this recently, and I think that fixing this really would affect Montanans, so I urge you to vote in favor.
Representative McLovin?
Okay, so I rise in strong affirmation of this bill. It is in fact a great bill, and although arbitration can sound confusing, it's really basically just a company asking you to sign this paper or else. And then essentially you end up signing away your rights a lot of the times against your will, and then you cannot sue them for things that are obviously their liability. That takes away the system, and I believe that it needs to be resolved immediately. So, like I said, even though it can be confusing, if you Google it, it's a bad thing. So make sure we outlaw this immediately. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on this bill? I can't. Okay, seeing none, would the sponsor care to close?
I do urge everyone to vote for this bill. We did look up the 7th Amendment, and it guarantees you the trial by jury, and it does guarantee you it's jury trial and what's that called? Due process of law, I'm pretty sure. And I do not believe that it is right to trick and force people to sign away their constitutional rights. And I yield the rest of my time.
The question now arises on the motion of Representative Green that when this committee does rise and report after having under consideration Senate Bill number 207, they recommend the same do pass. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Okay, the ayes have it, so it is ordered. Yes, Majority Leader Ryan.
I move to order of business number 6.
Okay, are there any motions then?
Can the minority leader and I form a select committee for the purpose of making an apology for the Capitol staff?
Yes.
Along with a select committee as well.
Yes. So, yeah. So if you two and good. Okay, yes, Representative Kafur.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to motion the ban on how the general public cannot speak on bills.
I'm sorry, what was that motion?
What do I have to say? Mike, get up here. Get up here, Mike.
Oh, no, you're fine. So we have a motion before us by Representative Kafur to allow a member of the public to speak on a bill. Now, this needs to pass with a 2/3 majority. So if everybody in favor of this motion would please rise so the clerks can count.
Okay, I got this side.
Okay, well, that's 2/3, so we don't need to count.
It's like something like that.
Oh.
Yes, Representative Donhauer.
Wait, so am I good to represent?
Okay, we now have a motion before us to amend the docket. So Senate Bill number 222 is at the top. All of those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed? Okay, great. So, members of the committee, we now have before us Senate Bill number 222. Will the clerk read the history and title of the bill?
We have Senate Bill 222.
222.
Okay. We have Senate Bill number 222, title, Let the Bros Wear Their Tanks on Tuesdays. Committee recommendation, do pass. No amendments.
Thank you. Members of the committee, you now have before you in its entirety Senate Bill number 222. What is your pleasure?
What? You can sponsor it. She says sponsor, stand up.
What is your pleasure?
All right, I'll sponsor it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get this real quick. It's 222. I know, but the thingamajigger that I'm
Dear Madam Chair and Queen of the
Dear Madam Chair and members of the committee, I move that when this committee does rise and report after having under consideration Senate Bill number 222, that it recommend the same do pass.
So,
Concurred, and yeah. So this bill is let the bros wear their tanks on Tuesdays. I'm pretty sure we've all heard of some of the sayings, bro tank Tuesday, flannel Friday. You know, we just, we want to get it so that bros can always wear their tanks on Tuesdays. So, yeah, all males who fall in the category of bro will wear tanks on Tuesdays. Bro will be defined as someone who works out, uses the word swole, uses hair gel of any sort, prefers to show off his masculinity, posts selfies on Instagram, drives a lifted truck, drives souped up imports, has a handshake of any sort with another so-called bro, takes gym class as if it were the Super Bowl, anyone in a fraternity of any sort. They're into extreme sports, teller of cool stories, the coolest storyteller you might say, listens to the newest rap and or rock, uses the West Side sign more than needed, they're too into themselves, normally wants to start something or get into a fight, and puffs their chest out to look bigger or tougher, aka flexes. Yeah, and like said before, anyone who falls under this category, any of these, will wear tanks on Tuesdays. Doesn't cost any money to implement this. And yeah. Punishment if you don't wear your tank on Tuesday is $10 for the first offense, and it increases by double every offense. Thank you. I yield my time.
thank you, Representative Gafur. Are there any questions for the sponsor at this time? Representative Bishop.
Is there any way females can also classify as bros?
I don't see why not. If you fall into any of those categories, I guess you could be a bro. I guess it would be called a grow. I don't know.
Representative Campbell. Is that not Campbell? No? Okay. I'm sorry? Yep. Okay. Representative Green?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Maybe. What's the question?
Well, is it true that the female bro could also be referred to as a bra?
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to the person. Bra would probably be like permitted, yeah. But a bra is also like a form of underwear of some sort. I'd go with girl if I were you.
Will the speaker yield to a follow-up? May I have a follow-up?
I'll follow up half of a question.
Couldn't it be a homonym, a kind of underwear, bra? You know, same word, different meaning?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Representative Campbell, do you wish to finish your... Is Campbell? That's what it says on my chart. I don't know what your name is, sorry.
Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes.
How will the police officers know if you're defined as a bro?
Will you repeat that? I'm sorry.
How will the police officers know if you are defined as a bro?
Well, it's pretty visual. I mean, the hair gel, the flexing, the working out, they're sweating, they're wearing the tank. Just look at him. Look at that flex.
Okay, we only have time for a few more questions. Representative Black.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes.
Will those males and females that are unfortunate enough not to be a bro, what will happen to them if they wear a tank on Tuesday?
There's no, you don't get in trouble.
You don't get in trouble for wearing a tank. It's your freedom. This is America. And, high five.
Thank you.
Okay, Representative, is it Pica? Pica.
Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yes.
Are you considered a bro if you skip leg day?
You see, no, I don't think you are, and if you are considered a bro, those other bros calling you bros are no longer bros. Bro.
Last question, Representative McGree.
Hey, Nate.
Hey, Paul. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Sure.
Are you considered a bro?
Me, myself, personally?
Yes.
I'm considered a ginger.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Time allowed for questioning has now elapsed. Is there any discussion on this bill? Yes, Representative Davey.
You know, as a minor bro myself, I need some sort of way to show my patriotism as part of the group. And this bill would allow me to do so, well, require me to do so. And it will require others to do so, instilling a certain feeling of pride within the group.
Okay, we'll next hear from our guest here.
Dear Madam Chair, Queen of Virginia, and members of the committee, I am a strong proponent of this bill due to the fact that I am indeed a bro. And obviously, everybody was pretty sleepy in here and not laughing very much. And the bill came up, and everybody kind of woke up a little bit. My sponsor did a great job, covered quite a few of the questions. Being a bro is a very prideful thing. Another thing that was amended in the bill, is this on? Another thing that was amended in the bill was the $10 fine, which would double each time you get caught on a Tuesday without wearing your tank, would go to a community fund for the redistribution of bro tanks who can't afford it. This would be so all bros can wear bro tanks on Tuesdays. And donations are also accepted for that distribution fund. That'll help kick off the start of Bro Tank Tuesdays. I yield the rest of my time.
Okay, last comment, Representative Bishop.
So I feel I have to identify with this bill since I have used the West sign symbol more than it is necessary. West side. Also, this is just breaking down gender barriers with the introduction of the bra. I mean, us bras can wear our bro tanks with the bros and we'll fight these gender battles together. And I just want to thank our sponsor and the writer over here for doing that for us.
Time allowed for this discussion has now elapsed. Would the sponsor care to close?
Yeah, I'd like to close. As she said, it is breaking down barriers of some sort, like the Berlin Wall. Not quite, but yeah, and bras and bros everywhere can live free and happy. Thank you. I yield the rest of my time.
The question now arises on the motion of Representative Kaflor that when this committee does rise and report after having under consideration Senate Bill number 222, it recommend the same is concurred. Those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it, so it is ordered. Members of the committee, we now have before us Senate Bill number 220. Will the clerk read the history and title of the bill?
Bill 220, title Healthcare for the Working Poor.
Committee recommendation, do pass. Amendment, Section 3, remove Part 2.
Members of the committee, you now have before you in its entirety Senate Bill number 220. What is your pleasure? Would somebody sponsor this bill? Thank you, Representative Hyatt.
Madam Chair and the Empress of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the members of the committee, I move that when this committee does rise and report after having consideration of Senate Bill number 220, that it recommend with the same due pass. I am concurred. The working poor are the backbone of America. It is because they are poor and they work that others may work and be less poor than them. Because of this, I think it is the least that we can do to then support them by providing health care at affordable rates, and that this bill shall be passed to create a Montana version to supplement and add to the Affordable Care Act, which provides federal funds for health coverage to many other Montanans. This bill looks very good, it's very to the point, and I think passing it would be very American. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the sponsor? Representative Black.
Thank you, Her Majesty, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question? How will you get the startup money for this? It does say that you are using a program, but how much money will be used in just the startup of this?
Well, considering that most people in Montana are rich in friends and rich in culture, I'm guessing that we're only going to need $3 or $4.
Will the sponsor yield to a follow-up question? How will the general public be informed of this bill?
Telegrams will be dispatched.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions for the sponsor? Okay, seeing none, is there any discussion on this bill? Representative Gammons.
Madam Speaker, I would just like to clarify that this is actually a pretty good bill. So this was in our committee and some problems came up on the funding. So it does say federal government will be responsible. Seeing as this is state legislature, we did change that. It may not have made it onto the amendment page, but we were changing it to state government. And we weren't also entirely sure where the funding would come from at the state level, but if we could find a way to make this work, I think that this bill is great. I think it's a really good idea. Thanks.
Yes, Representative Brown. Kyle.
Okay. I think this is really a great idea. Many of those people who work in today's businesses and stuff, they all get health care, but the people who clean their offices and their aides and stuff do not have the opportunity to have health care and many times can't afford it. And so this would cover that gap that we are seeing grow and is prevalent in today's Montana. So please support this bill.
Yes, Representative.
Okay, I think this bill is a great idea because a lot of students who get right out of college, they don't have jobs readily available for them, especially with insurance. This would allow them steady insurance until they can get a better job that gives them this sort of insurance. Thank you.
Okay. Last comment, Representative Black.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am in great support of this bill as it provides health care for the people of Montana. If they are working and they get hurt on the job, they should be able to get help for their injuries, and their families should be able to get help, let's say, if they get sick. This would be a great idea, and funding may be added possibly to taxes because the citizens of Montana undoubtedly would want to fund something like this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, time allowed for this discussion has now elapsed. Would the sponsor care to close?
Thank you, Madam Chair and Empress. I would just like to end it with, this is a great bill. I mean, the people that are being affected by this are just common Montanans like you and everyone deserves a little bit of help at times, so passing would be the right thing to do.
The question now arises on the motion of Representative Hyatt that when this committee, after having under consideration Senate Bill number 220, recommend the same be concurred with. Those in favor of this motion, please say aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so it is ordered. Members of the committee, yes, Representative Donhower. Move to amend the docket to put 223 to the top. Okay, there's a motion before us to put bill number 223 at the top. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay. And so, members of the committee, we now have before us Senate Bill number 223. Number 223, will the clerk read the history and title of the bill?
Senate Bill 223 titled, Let the Guys Wear Their Flannels on Fridays. Committee recommendation do pass. And amendments under Section 3, the money that is used for fines will now go to redistribution of flannels for those who cannot afford a flannel.
Members of the committee, we now have before us in its entirety Senate Bill number 223. What is your pleasure?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, I move that when this committee does rise and report after having under consideration Senate Bill number 223, that it recommend the same do, what is it?
Be concurred with.
What?
Be concurred.
Be concurred.
With. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Billy Mays here with another fantastic bill. This one's for the guys, not the bros, though. Let's wear some flannels. And ladies sometimes. Great words of wisdom right here. So this bill, let's get some flannels on Fridays. Anyone who falls under the category can wear a flannel on a Friday. And these categories are fishermen, big game hunters, trappers, bird hunters, normally has stubble on face, recommended the chin, neck, or sideburn area, has a handshake of some sort, drives a souped up truck, has any sort of fascination with chopping wood, it enjoys proving their masculinity, contains at least one lumberjack in the family, plays some kind of sport, and is the teller of cool stories. Now you might be asking yourself, bros and guys have a lot in common. Yeah. So it'll be mandatory for all guys who fall under this category to wear the flannels. Thought I was talking about bro tanks for a second. And anyone who does not go with this and does not wear their flannel on Friday has a $10 fine, and every time they mess it up, it's a double, same thing. And same again, the flannels, money will go back to funding flannels for more bros and guys, not bros, guys, who are poor to get some flannels. Yeah.
Thank you, Representative Kaflor. Are there any questions for the sponsor? Yes, Representative Davey.
So, I fit under none of the categories. However, I do have a few stray hairs. Would you consider that stubble?
Let me see.
Okay, at this point, are there any more questions for the sponsor?
Let me tickle.
Are there any more questions for the sponsor?
I'd probably consider that stubble.
Okay. Yes, Representative Green.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
So, thank you, Her Majesty. Will the sponsor yield to a question?
Yeah.
So, in regards to our bro talk,
Bro tanks?
Yeah, bro talk.
Tanks.
Well, yes, about the bro tanks.
Talk.
Yeah.
Okay,
The female
Tank talk.
equivalent of that being the bra. Would the female equivalent of a guy be a gal? Just saying. Just asking.
No, it'd be a woman.
Woman. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
okay, we can only have time. We just got a note from somebody, so we have to speed this up really quick. Representative McGree had his hand up, and then that will be the end of questioning.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Are you more of a bro tank or flannel type of guy?
I'm probably more of a flannel type of guy.
Okay.
Because wood and chopping and wood burns, and fire and ginger.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Time allowed for questioning has now come to a close. Is there any discussion on this bill? Is there any discussion on this bill? Okay, seeing no discussion, would the sponsor care to close?
Oh.
Yeah, close.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I will close. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between the bro tanks and the flannels, so I don't see why we can't pass the flannels too. Sorry about the confusion with the tanks. You ever want to hear about those, ask my boy Blake Burton. Yeah, this is a really good bill, and it gives back to the public for flannels. You can get flannels in all different types of colors, like red, white, and blue per se. And that's freedom. Amen. Goodbye. I yield my time.
The question now arises on the motion of Representative Kafloy that when this committee does rise and report after having under consideration Senate Bill number 223, I recommend the same be concurred with. All in favor of this motion, please say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so it is ordered. Okay, so we're going back to, I don't know, another order of business. We have the written out apology, and we all have to read it, and everyone has to vote on it so that we can submit it to the Capitol. So, dear Capitol staff, on behalf of the Montana YMCA Youth and Government Program, the House minority and majority leaders would like to apologize for the inappropriate language that was expressed earlier today. We feel that the actions of a few will not indicate the body of the whole. We appreciate the opportunity of using the Capitol for our program, and we are grateful for all of your hard work for Montana, and we apologize for the disturbance that we have caused. Best regards, the House majority and minority leaders. All in favor of approving this, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Great, we approve this. Here, thank you. Okay, it is 10 till, so we'll do one more bell. Members of the committee, we now have before you for your consideration Senate Bill number, is it 220? 209. 209. Would the clerk please read the history and title of the bill?
Senate Bill 209, titled Legalization of Oxycontin in Athletics. Amendments change use of words prescription pain medication to meth. Add to section 2, trainer may have no more than 3 prescriptions.
Members of the committee, we now have before us in its entirety Senate Bill number 209. What is your pleasure?
One sec. What page is the thing on?
I don't know.
Found it. Alrighty. Madam Chair, members of the committee, I move that when this committee does rise and report after having the consideration House Senate Bill 209, that it is recommended and same do pass. What?
Be concurred with,
concur.
yeah.
What? Concur.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay, yeah.
Okay. So, meth heals pain in athletes. Over time, it may break down your skin and stuff, but that's why you don't overuse it. The only bad things about meth is when you overuse it. That's why it only says you can only prescribe it 3 times. 3 times isn't going to do anything. Only help the pain. I yield my time to the chair.
Are there any questions for the sponsor? Yes, Representative Edelman.
Yes, how will we ensure that there is high quality meth being given to our athletes, particularly the blue kind?
I will take your question, yes. And it has to be over-the-counter meth.
Representative Kaflor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Will the sponsor yield to a question? Nope. Okay.
Are there any further questions? Representative Burton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And where will we be purchasing this over-the-counter meth?
I will not yield to your question.
Will you be yielding to any more questions?
2 more.
2 more. Fun. Okay, Representative Pendergrass. Sorry, how do you say your name?
Call her KDP.
Pendergrass?
It's okay, it's the wrong person.
Okay, yes. Oh, well, sorry, then I don't have your name. Yes, Representative.
Representative Steckity, by the way.
Stephanie?
Steckity.
Steckity, got it.
Will the speaker yield to a question?
Absolutely.
Are you concerned with any like possible addictions to meth? Because there's the reason the meth only once motto, because once you try it once, you get addicted. Are you worried that any of these athletes will get addicted to meth?
3 times, so my concern rate is at 0. So if they only use it 3 times and 3 times only, there is no addiction there.
Representative Davey.
Thank you, Her Majesty, Queen Sam of the glorious Kingdom of Virginia. Will the sponsor yield to my question?
Sure.
Where will the manufacture of said meth take place?
Africa.
May I ask a follow-up question, Madam Chair? Will there be any profit made from said meth, and where will it go?
The athletes' bodies, of course, and this is a non-profit bill.
And I believe our sponsor said he would take 2 questions, and that was 2, because I'm good at counting. Is there any discussion on this? Yeah. Is there any discussion on this bill? Representative Gammons.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a great bill. I think it's really good. I mean, nothing but improved performance in athletes. I mean, everyone can do it. It's fair. It's good. I like it.
Representative Anderson.
I think this bill is great. Who wouldn't want to watch athletes on meth out there running around out of their heads?
Okay, Representative McLovin.
I'm in strong affirmation of this bill because, once again, this is a very American bill. Not only would this be great for the athletes, but football itself would be great because football is an American sport, and with the implementation of meth, it can only get better. There is no addiction with 3 times of use. Trust me, it's okay.
Representative, are you?
Almost.
Okay.
Almost. It's good. Can't help it.
Representative Blackford.
Drugs are bad until you legalize them, and that's the American way.
Representative Nielsen.
Sorry. I move we end discussion.
Okay, there has been a motion for closure by Representative Nielsen. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. I believe okay, there's been a call for division, so the ayes, please stand. Please stand. Okay, the nays have it. However, as we are reaching the end of our discussion time anyway, I can only take 2 more comments and then we're out. Representative Johnson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to add on to Representative McLovin's statement and bring up the point of how amazing hockey would be on meth. Thank you very much.
Okay, and sorry, Representative Kaflor was here up first, so Representative Kaflor.
Yeah, I'd just like to say I really love this bill. Sports and stuff would be amazing on meth. I just have one problem though. Would speech and debate students be able to like use this when their throat hurts? What? Okay, thanks.
Okay, time for discussion on this bill has now elapsed. Would the sponsor care to close?
Yeah.
So, I'd like to dream of an America where meth is available to athletes. And may in the future, may speed be also passed. I yield my time.
The question now arises on the motion by Representative Schneider that when this committee does rise and report, after having under consideration Senate Bill number 209, they recommend the same be concurred with. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Okay, the ayes have it, so it is ordered.
Madam Chair, I move we recess until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Without objection, so it is ordered. What? All right, team. All right, team.
So I'm not going to go up against your mom.
Yeah, so. No, so I can help
They are. They just continue to have like. Okay, well, I have to go, but thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys letting me do